Hello, everyone. In this video, I am going to tell you that how I have become fluent in English. And by this way, you will learn how to become fluent. Actually, I still remember the first time I truly wanted to learn English. It was a warm afternoon, and I was sitting in front of the television, watching an English movie. I could only understand a few words like hello and thank you. The rest sounded like fast music with no meaning. I felt disappointed but also excited. I said to myself, one day I want to understand everything. One day I want to speak like them. That day, my journey to becoming fluent in English began. At first, I didn't know where to start. I had learned English in school, but I could only write a little and read slowly. Speaking was the hardest part. Every time someone spoke to me in English, I froze. My mind went blank. I was scared of making mistakes. I thought people would laugh at me. But deep inside, I wanted to change that. I wanted to be confident. The first thing I did was ask myself a simple question. Why do I want to learn English? The answer was clear. I wanted better opportunities. I wanted to study in a good college, apply for a good job, and travel to other countries. English, I realized, was the key to a bigger world. I began to surround myself with English as much as I could. I changed my phone language from my mother tongue to English. At first, I made a lot of mistakes pressing the wrong buttons, but soon I got used to it. I started watching English TV shows with subtitles. One of my favorites was a show about friends living in New York. Their conversations were funny and simple, and I enjoyed learning common phrases like, "What's up?" or "No way." Every night I listened to English songs. I didn't understand all the words, but I liked the rhythm and sound. Slowly, I started catching words and matching them with the lyrics. I even began to sing along, even if I sounded silly at first. I also found English podcasts on my favorite topics. I listened while walking or doing chores. These small steps made a big difference. But listening was not enough. I had to speak too. That was the biggest challenge. I didn't have many people to talk to in English, so I started with myself. I stood in front of a mirror and described what I was wearing. I am wearing a blue shirt. My hair is messy today. Then I talked about my day. I went to the market. I bought some apples. They were fresh. I laughed at myself, but I kept going. After some time, I joined an online language exchange group. There, I met a kind girl from Canada who was learning my language. We decided to help each other. I helped her speak my language, and she helped me speak English. In the beginning, I was nervous. I spoke slowly and made many grammar mistakes. But she was patient. She encouraged me and corrected me gently. Our conversations helped me become more confident. While speaking, I realized that I needed more words to express myself. So, I started building my vocabulary. I didn't try to learn 100 words a day. That was too much. I chose just 5 new words every day. I wrote them in a notebook, along with their meanings and sentences. For example, I learned the word excited. I wrote, "I am excited about my trip." Then, I tried to use that word while talking or writing. Grammar was another mountain to climb. I bought a basic grammar book and started reading 1 chapter a week. I focused on important topics like tenses, articles, and question formation. I didn't try to become perfect. I just wanted to understand the rules and use them in my daily practice. I also watched grammar videos that explained things in simple ways with examples. Reading became my favorite activity. I started with short stories made for English learners. I remember reading a story called The Lost Puppy. It was simple, and I could understand most of it. After finishing the story, I felt proud. I underlined new words and tried to use them later. I also read news headlines, social media posts, and even product labels in English. To improve my writing, I began keeping a diary in English. Every night before bed, I wrote about my day. At first, I made mistakes, but I didn't stop. I wrote things like, "Today I went to the park. I saw some birds. I felt happy." Slowly, my sentences became longer and better. I also wrote short essays on topics like my family, my hobbies, and my dream job. Writing helped me think in English. That was another big lesson, thinking in English. At first, I used to think in my language and then translate everything into English, but that made me slow. So I trained myself to think in English. When I woke up, I told myself, I need to brush my teeth. When I cooked, I thought, now I am boiling water. I will add rice. I asked myself questions in English and answered them in English too. Of course, I made many mistakes on the way. I once said, he go to school instead of he goes to school. I felt embarrassed, but I reminded myself, it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. In fact, mistakes helped me learn better. Each time I said something wrong, I looked it up and corrected myself. I realized that the fear of mistakes is worse than the mistakes themselves. What helped me the most was making English a part of my daily life. I didn't treat it like a school subject. I treated it like a friend. I spoke to it, listened to it, read it, and wrote to it. I made a simple routine: 15 minutes of reading, 10 minutes of writing, 15 minutes of listening, and 10 minutes of speaking every day. Sometimes I missed a day, but I always came back. After many months of regular practice, I saw a big change. One day, I watched a full English movie without subtitles and understood most of it. Another day, I spoke with a foreign tourist in English, and he understood me without asking me to repeat anything. That was one of the happiest days of my life. I felt like I had opened the door to a new world. Now, when I look back, I smile. I remember the shy person who couldn't say a full sentence in English. I remember the frustration, the long hours, and the little victories. Today, I am not perfect, but I am fluent. I can express my thoughts, write clearly, and understand others with ease. My journey to English fluency taught me more than just a language. It taught me patience, discipline, and the joy of learning. If you are someone who wants to become fluent in English, I want to tell you this: you can do it. Start small. Practice every day. Don't be afraid of mistakes. And most importantly, never give up. Because one day, you too will speak English with confidence and smile at how far you've come.